Right now, a tissue inside you is breaking down, and it will decide whether you reach 80 with a sharp mind or slide into dementia by 65. No blood test will flag it. No doctor will warn you. Every hour in a chair brings the moment of failure closer, and you don't even know this tissue exists. Your body contains a muscular structure that appears in no fitness app. You cannot pump it at the gym. It ignores squats and deadlifts. You cannot contract it by will. Yet it sets the pace of aging for your heart, brain, and kidneys. This is vascular smooth muscle, a layer of contractile cells embracing every artery. Right now it completes about 70 contraction cycles per minute, adjusting vessel diameter to each heartbeat, and it is degrading faster than nature intended, because the conditions it needs have been erased by how we live. In a few minutes, you will learn 3 interventions, free, simple, available at any age, that can reverse this tissue's aging in 8 weeks. But first, the scale of the problem. Arteries are not rigid pipes. They are living, muscular organs. The aorta's wall has 3 layers: endothelium inside, connective scaffold outside, and between them, the media, smooth muscle cells woven into an elastin-collagen lattice. They narrow and widen the lumen. This balance governs pressure, organ supply, and wall integrity. The heart ejects blood in pulses, 120 millimeters of mercury per beat. Were arteries metal pipes, the brain would take a hydraulic blow 70 times a minute. But the elastic wall absorbs the wave. The aorta stretches, stores energy, then recoils between beats, pushing blood onward. This is the Windkessel function, converting pulses into smooth flow. When smooth muscle fails, the pressure wave is not absorbed. It bounces back and hits the heart. This is arterial stiffness, the strongest predictor of cardiovascular death after 50. Stronger than cholesterol or blood pressure. And its rate of increase depends on what you do. Skeletal muscles obey your will. Vascular smooth muscle does not. It is run by the autonomic nervous system, hormones, and blood flow forces. You cannot order an artery to dilate. But involuntary does not mean untrainable. The stimulus is hemodynamic load. The key force is shear stress, the friction of blood against the vessel wall. When blood flow speeds up, the endothelium releases nitric oxide. It relaxes smooth muscle. The vessel opens. Cells maintain their contractile phenotype. They stay elastic and young. With chronically low flow, hours at a desk, weeks without movement, nitric oxide drops. Cells switch to the synthetic phenotype. This is measurable. The tissue stiffens, accumulates collagen, loses elastin. The wall thickens. Windkessel function fades. The body ages, not because years passed, but because the mechanical signal was switched off. Daniel Green at the University of Western Australia measures this using flow-mediated dilation. In sedentary people, arterial dilation drops by 0.5% per year after 25. By 65, losses reach about 20%. In lifelong exercisers, the rate of decline is more than halved. 70-year-old athletes match sedentary 40-year-olds. Their vessels are 30 years younger than their passport. Crucially, in previously sedentary older adults, improvement appears after just 8 to 12 weeks. The muscle can be restarted at any age. The brain takes 15% of cardiac output and needs smooth flow. When arteries are stiff, pressure waves hit cerebral microvessels, walls 1 cell thick. Over years, this causes microbleeds and white matter damage. The Rotterdam study proved arterial stiffness predicts dementia over 10 to 15 years, independent of cholesterol and blood pressure. The mechanism is purely mechanical. Kidneys filter blood 40 times a day through pressure-sensitive vessels. The same stiffness destroys the glomeruli. Chronic kidney disease affects about 40% of people after 70. Less movement, stiffer arteries, more damage to organs. Vascular age cascades. Brain, kidneys, and heart all age at the rate of the arteries. Left ventricular hypertrophy is a direct consequence of lost arterial compliance. The endothelium, a single-cell lining covering 4 to 7 tennis courts, is a signaling organ. Through the enzyme eNOS, it produces nitric oxide that keeps vessels healthy. Minimum dose, 150 minutes of moderate aerobic activity per week. This matches WHO, AHA, and ESC guidelines. Additional benefit continues up to 300 to 400 minutes. For those over 60, type matters less than regularity. Brisk walking at 60 to 70% of max heart rate is enough. 30 minutes, 5 days a week. Smooth muscle does not distinguish walking from running. It registers one thing: is shear stress present or absent? Carbon dioxide is not just waste. It is a potent vasodilator that relaxes smooth muscle through pH-dependent mechanisms. This is how the brain regulates its own blood supply. Chronic hyperventilation, 15 to 20 breaths per minute instead of 8 to 12, washes out CO2. Cerebral blood flow drops 10 to 15% for years. Slow breathing, 5 to 6 breaths per minute, keeps CO2 at the level that holds vessels relaxed. Fast breathing tightens them. Slow breathing opens them. Chronic stress fires the sympathetic nervous system. Noradrenaline binds alpha-1 receptors and holds vessels in contraction. Not for minutes, for years. The muscle ages because it is never allowed to relax. Meditation, yoga, tai chi lower sympathetic tone. Noradrenaline falls, nitric oxide rises, pressure drops. The effect registers on a blood pressure cuff within minutes. Long-term, reduced arterial stiffness and lower pulse wave velocity. Smooth muscle responds to 3 stimuli: shear stress from movement, CO2 from breathing, autonomic balance from emotional state. All 3 are undermined by modern life. But the muscle responds, at any age, improvement in 8 to 12 weeks. Endothelium upregulates ENOS within days. Breathing retraining normalizes CO2 within weeks. Parasympathetic activation lowers tone in a single session. The prescription is simple: brisk walking 30 minutes most days. Slow nasal breathing, 5 to 6 breaths per minute at rest. 10 minutes of quiet, meditation, prayer, a park bench. Your grandmother never said vascular smooth muscle. She said, go for a walk, breathe deeply, rest, stop worrying. In plain language, 3 stimuli for young vessels. It does not matter how old you are. One thing matters. Is the signal arriving? 1 walk, 1 breath, 1 moment of stillness. The muscle is waiting. Start today.